A leading forecast from Grandview Research estimates that the market size of artificial intelligence, currently sitting at about $300 billion US, is projected to grow to about $1.8 trillion US by 2030 at a compounded annual growth rate of 35.9%. This is massive growth, and a question I've always avoided or dodged is retail investors like you and I asking me how they can invest in artificial intelligence. And I dodge this question because unlike high net worth individuals that have the cash to do some angel investing, venture capital investing, or private equity investing, there are no pure AI plays among the publicly traded companies right now. And even if we have a few of them, the product and the services they are delivering might not fit into your investment strategy or might not fit into your portfolio. So in this case, what do? You first have to understand the AI value chain before you can have access to your ChatGPT, your Perplexity, your Claude, etc. It all starts with the core hardware, which is of course the chips and GPUs that powers the whole AI ecosystem. And companies that dominate here is Nvidia, AMD, Intel, TSMC, ASML, Broadcom, etc. And of course, as you move to the next layer, you have the cloud infrastructure, which is of course still dominated by AWS of Amazon, Azure of Microsoft, GCP of Google, and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, etc. And you move to the next stage, which is of course the AI models, which is still dominated by OpenAI's GPT models. You have Claude from Anthropic, you have the Llama from Meta, Cohere, etc. And as you move ahead, you have some vertical AI application and some of the consumer AI application that we all use. Your best bet to gain exposure to the AI value chain is to focus on the AI-focused ETFs. ETFs are exchange-traded funds. These are like a basket of stocks that have been traded in the exchange. You can buy ETFs just like you buy stocks every other day. The best place to do your research on ETFs is justetfs.com. I'm not going to call the name of any ETF today. Just look at me like one random guy yapping on the internet. No investment advice. I'm just talking about what I know. For AI-focused ETFs, these are ETFs that tracks the companies that are innovating in artificial intelligence, robotics, and related innovations or technologies. And of course, one of the things you should consider before you invest in an ETF is of course how that ETF is performing. Is it increasing in value or is it decreasing in value? And you have to understand the expense ratio and the fees of that ETFs. For this kind of industry-specific ETFs or vertical-related ETFs, their expense ratio can be more expensive. It can range from 1% to 0.4%. Pretty expensive. But if it is worth it for you, good for you. And of course, look at the strategy and the investment objective of that ETF. Look at the underlying assets of that ETF. For example, look at the top 10 holdings of that ETFs, and you should look at the liquidity and the trading volume of that ETF, and of course, the distribution policy of that ETFs. And of course, you have to understand some macroeconomic factors and tax considerations of the ETF.